All right, welcome to Chalk Talk. Today I have the man, the myth, the legend, the beast, Travis Bagent on. Travis, you've had a wild and wonderful week down in Mobile. Can you tell us a little bit about your experience?
Well, first of all, that was very, very weak introduction. First of all, I mean, my goodness, Jawan has been blowing me up to try to get this interview. Listen, hold on. I think TMZ is outside right now. Hold on right now. I'll be right back. All right, I'm back. We good. Yeah, so I'm fresh. I got home at 3 p.m. I hit that couch. That was an 11-day road trip for Travis Bagent. So I hit that couch for about 2 hours, forgot all about our little Zoom thing, and then boom, I got the text and I was like, oh yeah, now I got my nap in. So yeah, it's been crazy. For the people that don't know, my son Tyson was invited to the Senior Bowl. We left Fort Myers, where he is prepping for the Senior Bowl and NFL Combine. So for me and Ezra, it started on Sunday. Sunday. So what is today? Today's Monday. So it started 8 days ago. I went to Fort Myers on that Thursday. On Sunday, Ezra and I left Fort Myers. We drove the 2.5 hours to Tampa, met up with Jesse Carell. Then we drove the 5.5 hours over to Mobile, Alabama, and we set up camp there Monday afternoon. We went to Senior Bowl practice Tuesday, Senior Bowl practice Wednesday, Senior Bowl practice Thursday, and then the rest of our family came into town. We all hung out Friday. Coach Walker, Coach Sherman, Coach McCook, Coach Klein, everybody was in the house. Coach Carell. We had the Steelies came. So I think Brian Walker, Mike McCook, there were so many people. I think that, there must have been we were about 32 deep game day, the Shepherd Rams. And then, of course, you guys watched the game, so we'll get into all that stuff. But yeah, it's just a roller coaster, amazing ride. When your son gets invited to the Senior Bowl, you accept it because it was a tremendous, blessed experience.
Yeah, absolutely. So just tell us a little bit about what you were doing in Fort Myers while you're in Fort Myers. A lot of people may not know that.
Right. So Tyson was lucky enough that his agent provides what they call draft prep. So, and when you are done playing college football, there is a 10-week window between the day you're done playing football and the day of the NFL Combine. Some people go longer, like Bryce Young, because they are in the Final Four, or CJ Stroud. Maybe they only get 8 weeks. But for the majority of people, it's between 10 and 12 weeks. If you're lucky enough, not lucky enough, but these places are in geographical locations. They are always, because of the time of year, they're in a summer place. So you have California, Arizona, Texas, in Florida. Now, I'm sure there are others that I don't know. Dallas, I believe, has one, and probably other warm places. But all of those places I investigated on who could get Tyson ready from a quarterback coaching standpoint and a 40-yard dash facility standpoint. Tyson chose Florida. He chose 3 places, 3 quarterback coaches. We liked all 3 of the quarterback coaches. So we went and visited each of the facilities. That was as soon as we got done our D2 season. He chose X3 out of Fort Myers. If you go to Travis Bagent Unfiltered, there's a 11-minute and a 3-minute clip, and it'll just show you this massive warehouse facility where I think on the wall there's 40 kids that in the last 3 years have went through draft prep at X3, and it shows them in their NFL uniform. So they just do an amazing job down there. The quarterback coaches were all pretty much, we liked them all, but the X3 facility in Fort Myers, it was like for us in Shepherdstown, West Virginia, it was like we rolled into Disney World when we got down there. So Tyson was super, they had the rehab, the doctors, the cold, the heat, everything was underneath this beautiful facility. The other places had everything, but it was in different sections, so it made it didn't look as efficient. And I think by watching the Senior Bowl, what I noticed from Tyson is he's moving really well right now, left to right, up in the pocket, able to get away from people. So it shows me that X3, they've been doing their thing.
Yeah, for sure. And I know we'll get into the game, but you touched on how he was climbing the pocket. That was actually one of the things that I noticed. How he was climbing the pocket, keeping his eyes downfield. And that was something that he looked a little bit lighter on his feet in the pocket. He looked really good. So how's Tyson adjusting to being down in Fort Myers? Is he loving
I
it?
think that one thing about him is he's pretty locked in. And I figured I got one responsibility, right? That's my guy. So every question that most people, whenever they're dealing with themselves, they feel really awkward being a diva in any way. And I'm speaking, even if you're a super confident dude, I can always get my son more if I handle it rather than him.
Mm-hmm.
And when I say his representation, it doesn't matter who it is. And that goes for me. I can get more with arm wrestling through you than I can get on myself when we're in that negotiating room. When it's personal, you'll always take less because you got this passion to actually do it. You want to do it. But when someone from the outside looks in, they really want to look out for you. So one of the things you're going to do for your kids, Juwan, one day is you are going to make sure that you make sure they know where they're going to eat at and where they're going to sleep at when they tell you they're doing all this great stuff somewhere that's not at your house.
Mm-hmm.
And we were lucky enough that, most kids, they choose their draft prep over the phone, right? Just like we choose our hotels. Mm-hmm. But luckily, or they take some reference from either an agent or so because I'm a helicopter dad, right? And I'm hovering over everything. I made sure that Tice was in his own house with his own room, privacy, but also right on the other side of the wall, a chaotic family there. We're all there. So Tyson is never alone in Fort Myers because I don't know what's going on in Fort Myers. So I'm going to make sure that I implant some sort of spy / mentor, whatever you call it. So since Tyson's been there, Jesse Carell, the former offensive coordinator at Shepherd, has resided in one room, and he handles all Tyson's board work, prep work, oversees every bit of training that he does, just so at any point Jesse needs to take over for any reason, he's there. Yeah. So that's in place. Ezra has the other room, and Ezra also being trained by Jesse Carell every day. So Tyson has his family 10 feet away, but a lot of the draft prep kids will take a hotel room with another player for 10 weeks. And not that that's bad. There's nothing wrong with that grind at all. But I just wanted it to be a little bit different. So we made sure that he was going to be completely comfortable at all times. I've been there. His mom's been there. His grandmother's been there. We're always going to stay close because we all know that the clock's ticking.
Yeah.
Come April 27th, maybe May, June, at some point, he's going to do this absolutely positively on his own. So as much as we want him to be comfortable, we want him around. We want to hang with him. So we set it up a good situation so that we could have access to him. After the game on Saturday, he came, all of us, his family, we all went to New Orleans, and we all left today. So we got to spend that 30 hours with him as well. So it's it's precious, and you're just holding on to it as long as you can.
Yeah, for sure. So let's talk a little bit about the experience at the Senior Bowl. Walk me. You had a vision of how that week was going to go, and you talked about it a little bit on the breakdown when you joined. And the crazy part is, you said that you would be arm wrestling 3 days into the event.
There is no doubt. I tell you, man, failure to me is it's tough to admit. I mean, I went on live TV. I told the world through my YouTube, through your YouTube, I lied to everyone, and I thought I was the man. So I told you guys by Wednesday I would be on ESPN arm wrestling.
Yeah, you did.
And it took till Thursday, so I failed.
Nah, you said 3 days though. So first practice was Tuesday. So
First
Tuesday,
practice,
Wednesday.
but I just want you to know that I set this thing on Monday.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
And I'm gonna tell you, I was very disappointed in the NFL Network for waiting till Thursday.
Yeah.
I told the guy, I said, dude, if there's a hotter segment, please fill me in. And he had no idea. One thing about those guys is they are busy.
Yeah.
Right? They have 110 people to think about, interview, get some skit or whatever. And I held back, Jawan. My goodness, I held back.
Listen.
I am saving this story for HBO, baby. And I didn't want to give it to everybody. Jim Nagy said, Travis, I've had 3,000 requests for you to do interviews, radio, TV. You tell me how much you want. I said, my man, I'm going all the way to the top, and I'm only giving them the weakest skit that I got.
Hey, listen, when you took that mic, when you took that mic from that guy and said, I'll take it from here, I'll say, hey, that's Travis being Travis. That I haven't seen anybody that comfortable on the mic. I've never seen anybody actually take the mic from anybody at ESPN, NFL Network, ABC, NBC. It just doesn't happen. And another thing that I've never seen is you're not supposed to hear the people behind the camera. If you watch that clip, the people behind the camera were just dying, laughing, having a good time. So that's one of the.
Well, I hate to interrupt you with that, but how immaculate is my timing? Let me tell you the phone call I had, right? So I get back that night, and my dog, right? My guy in life is Charlie Lamp, right?
Yeah.
So Chuck calls me up. Oh man, show was awesome. Show was great. You the man. I mean, Chuck's just going crazy, right? Because he's living this too, right? They living right here. We all are, right?
Absolutely.
So I look and I said, Troy, what you doing? He said, I'm in the hot tub, right? I said, so let's think about this. How could a guy like me, with my level of skill, be in the sleep in somewhere in Mobile, right? While you, Charlie, far less skills than me, are overlooking your 162 acres with your hot tub. And I mean, how in the world am I not a icon in America right now? What is going on? I mean, I tell you, boy, it is no secret that it is hard to make money until you're 40 years old.
Mm.
When I grabbed that mic from that young man, or it really wasn't a young man, just the cameraman,
Yeah.
I already knew that I was the coolest dude at that whole place. Now, how extraordinary is that? And I'm telling you right now, I may not have been, but there is no way that you could tell me that I wasn't.
Yeah.
There's absolutely no way.
Listen.
I mean, and I see it in their face. They cannot believe how eloquent. And I love it. I mean, it is crazy.
Listen, somebody behind us said, I love this guy. I said, I love this guy.
Man, I don't know what to tell you, man. It's going to be hard to get through this interview without rubbing some people wrong.
Yeah.
Because I am feeling, I mean, I'm about to take over. And the only reason I didn't is because I didn't want to hear all them haters talking about, man, won't he get off the screen? Because I already heard it. And I got news for, listen carefully. If you have any hatred in your body for the Travis Bagent brand, my goodness, you are about to really, really hate yourself. Because
Travis, so listen.
I
So
advise everybody, get on the train right now. If you see me out in public, make sure my money ain't no good. If you see me at the coffee shop and you ever want tickets to the Pro Bowl, you better take care of that. And that goes for this whole Eastern Panhandle. You all on notice.
People say that you are better than LeVar Ball because you sell yourself way better. You're a better talker. You're better on camera, but you have been compared to LeVar Ball. How do you feel about that?
Well, first of all, I love LeVar Ball. First of all, I love him. I mean, first of all, yeah, whatever negative stuff that anybody tries to say about LeVar Ball, I do not feel that way. If I had LeVar Ball's 2 kids, I would be a problem. Look what I'm doing with the D2 Harlan Hill winner. I mean, so I get it. I mean, now I think that if listen, I can't wait to be LeVar. I just ain't quite at that level yet.
Yeah.
But I also learned that I don't need to talk about any other player. I don't need to talk about any organization. I don't need any of that input would make me sound a little weird because I don't know that. I have one slight bit of expertise on the entire puzzle. And that expertise is I know Tyson. So because of that, I have no problem. Like me telling you that I was the coolest guy in that place, I 100% feel that way. And the second coolest person in that whole place was Tyson Bagent. And that is a fact at a mere 22 years old.
Yeah.
I mean, Tannenbaum was over there giving his analysis. I check it out. I see Mike Vrabel's chilling right there. So there was some cool people in the building.
Yeah.
I was by far the coolest. Tyson second, and then you got into those NFL coaches, GMs, you know. So I do that. Because of that, I don't have any problem with that. And you can't tell me that Tyson ain't the man. Because I ain't listening.
So tell me about his week.
I thought it was amazing. I mean, first of all, his confidence was great, right? Like I think that being down at X3 and traveling up there with 3 or 4 of the players, he knew he was in the right environment. There weren't going to be any surprises. The South Alabama kid actually is at X3. Okay. We were on different teams at first, but since Tyson switched teams, they were on the same team. So they got a couple days. So I think that was great, knowing that you was going into this fight, but you kind of had a little feel about what you were getting. And then he got into the room with Clayton Tune and Max Duggan, who, you know, I'm watching these guys every day. They're just, I mean, the highlight films. If you Tyson that, it's hard to get through more than 45 seconds of these 2 highlight films because these dudes are killing it, right? You don't even want to watch a highlight film of your kid's competing against. You need to watch the game film, not the highlight film. So there's a tremendous amount of respect in the room. Hendon Hooker is right there. And as soon as you get there, you can tell. All the cameras are, it's like if I walked into the Kentucky State arm wrestling tournament. All eyes on Hendon Hooker, right? I secretly almost wanted to go get a dap But, I'm trying to be stoic up here. Like, we got our own squad. You know what I mean? We got our own squad. So, so talking to Tyson after day one, I could tell that he felt that everybody assumed that there was a pecking order and that he was fourth on the pecking order. And that was different for him because I've managed, you can also you can shelter a kid, right? Tyson's been sheltered because of his geographical location, the quality of competition that Shepherd plays against until it's too late and you're getting smashed in the championship. So you could say that you sheltered there, but I've been searching, right? So he's a little less sheltered than he could have been because we tried to get to the, we tried to throw beside Kenny Pickett and all the dudes, Gardner Minshew. We went to the same places, same guys, right there in the same field. But you get there and you got to make sure that it's the first time that not everyone knows that. They think that he literally came from Shepherdstown and Martinsburg High School, and now boom. And the first day there's three centers. Only two of them are centers, right? Max Duggan is with this other guy who's a guard, who is now going to help out centering if needed for the reps. So practice starts, and they have 3 or 4 fumbles, right? So I catch myself saying, oh, check him out. He's gone, right? Competition done. Now it's just Tyson and Clayton Tune. Go over, they do a little rotation, and Clayton Tune has about 3 missed snap things under center. Oh, right? Check him off. He can't even get the ball under center. He must not have worked on it, right? All this is going in my mind as just the dad, right? Yeah. This is 20 minutes in the first practice. They rotate again, and Tyson has to deal with this guy who's learning how to play center, and the ball's going everywhere. So there you go. My first analysis went in 20 minutes in. I'm like, we're the best guy in the world. To, oh my goodness, Tyson's a goofball too, just like the other two. Can't handle the snap. But the truth is, it was the center. You know what I mean? Because it was a brand new. The guy's learning too. And what a terrible place to learn. Yeah. Right? When you got some All-American nose guard and you're trying to get a job. Yeah. So with all that said, the fact is you got 40 reps at practice 3 times, 120 reps. And I have such an unrealistic approach to football. I don't watch anything except my son. I watch him when he's on the sideline. I watch him when he's in the locker room. I'm sneaking in the locker room. I'm not watching the football game, Juwan. So to me, there's one player, and he's killing it the whole time. I get home and I read Tyson's the man, Tyson's the man, Tyson's the man, and then the vlog comes out that said it was too big of a platform. He fumbled every snap, and I was like, if that guy just looked down there when Tyson was there, he would probably think that he is too goofy to get a snap because that ball was going crazy that day. Yeah. So I learned after Monday, there's no use for me to read anything again because on Wednesday morning, I stumbled into my first interview, right? That's Nagy asked me if I wanted to do 1,000. I said, no, I'll do the ESPN network and I'll arm wrestle the guy. So I came in to the media day, and what I realized is everybody's media, and you can't tell Home Team Sports from ESPN as long as they're behind that YouTube channel with those fancy graphics. There was so many mom and pop shops along with just fans that have an iPhone and will do an interview right now, and the guy loves football. Yeah. But the truth is, he's got 90 minutes for 110 athletes. So you've seen him. It was like speed dating in there. Yeah. You trying to grab your person, you know what I mean? So I learned that you can't take much from the good or the bad, you know. And here's another thing: the people who really know, who really matter, would never let you know anything ever. So it is a very secret conversation between our people and any NFL team, because all that NFL team, all they want is information from the agent about what other teams have lied to them about, because they know that all the information would be just a game of chess to get ready for that day. So they're evaluating Tyson, and from what I heard, he killed it in the interviews. But no one's going to tell me he didn't to my face. There's no chance, right? Because they can see the enthusiasm on my face. They know I don't want to hear no bad news. I don't want to hear no critics. Like, you can write it, you can type it, but you can't say it to me. Yeah. You say it to me, we got to have a conversation about the whole thing. You got to explain to me your level of expertise. I need your social security number, your resume. We got to go through this whole thing before I could possibly not just go crazy just because I'm a dad.
Yep. So I did read some blogs, as you did. And I actually saw a lot of blogs saying how well he was doing. I did see one that said he had some trouble with timing and things like that on day one or Tuesday's practice. And then as the week went on, that he got stronger and stronger and more comfortable. Is that what you saw as well?
I mean, I saw the first day, them not giving them much opportunity, you know, because it was, you got to install the run game right away, right? Then you rep on that, the screen game right away. So that's the day one install. So it's hard to separate yourself day one. And I love that too, because I feel like no matter how cool Tyson tries to act, this must be nuts.
Absolutely. Nervous.
And the pressure of me, because I'm over here saying, yo, man, what? Kill these dudes. Like, let's go. Like, I'm not trying, because I already know how easy it is to let that doubt enter your head. I mean, it's you controlling that is everything.
Yeah.
There's nothing else, right? Like, all I have to do is have this internal belief. It doesn't even matter. I must possess it in order to move on to the next play, right? So for me, it's easy, right? I'm good at cheerleading. I'm good coach. I know too. And a lot of times the X's and O's they're important Monday through Thursday, but on Friday and Saturday, you got to find out what it means to you. You know what I mean? I always tell my kids, listen, if you do this for you, it will not be enough, right? You got to look around, close your eyes. There got to be something going on that you can draw that for, and then you give it to them. Now you go crazy, right? It's all good. There ain't no pressure on you. This is a gift. You giving it to someone else. Tyson, hey, you need someone to give it to. Hello, do it for me. Right? Let's go. Right? Whatever's needed to make sure that he knows I believe in him and that he, ultimately believes in himself. So to me, Monday, going the screen game, installing the run game is a perfect time for you to realize that you not only are just like these dudes, you better than these dudes. And listen, it doesn't matter if you think that's egotistical or too much confidence, cocky. It doesn't matter. If you're the quarterback and you want to get drafted and be the leader, the man, the everything, you got to be the dude. So, be the dude, and I tell him all the time, if not, move on to the next part of your life. I'll take back over when it comes to the limelight. But if you're going to do it, let's do it. Right? Let's do it. And then I saw Tuesday him come out, and that's when all the machines are on you, when they're starting to throw the ball. They're timing the velocity, the airspeed, the distance. Well, then you look at the board don't lie. He had the strongest arm. There's 5 metrics.
Almost 60
he was the
yards
winner of 3 of them. The other 2, he come in a close second. So across the board, it really wasn't close. So that's huge, right? Because he was supposed to have the weakest arm, right? I mean, that's the scouting report, right? Because I told him, listen, you can't cut that thing loose in Shepherdstown. that thing will end up in Ranson, right? We need a bigger stage to cut this thing loose, player. You know what I mean? Come on. And he showed that too. So the arm strength was crazy. Then, I mean, are you ready to talk about the game?
Yeah, that's what I was going to get into the game. Yeah, so he came
So,
in third quarter, right?
Third quarter, which was also too, you get that script, and what you find out is if you shuffle through every 4 days, you would have already known who's starting, who was going second, who was going third, which is, I don't think is the coolest thing. I would love, but I also understand that they don't have time to compete.
Yeah.
You know why? One of the guys has to go down for the run game. One of the guys is working the screen game, and the other guy's working the receivers. They're only side by side 12 reps.
Yeah.
Right. What I noticed, to me, there was only one guy on the field. I don't even know how I'm supposed to. Yeah, who am I comparing him to? Don't ever ask me to compare him. It's an unrealistic answer, and I already know that. So, but the game gets there, and then you find out that you got new receivers that are now playing in a game late in the game that is already over, right? You have every lineman who's already shown himself in the first couple series has already taken his helmet off. His agents winked at him and given him the thing. So now when you get there at the end of the game, you got guys starving, right? Guys just like Tyson that are from the smaller places, or for whatever reason, that rotation was made that way. The good thing is, or the good or the bad thing is, the good receivers are still in the game, because the other 5 real good receivers that had the 2 days, they back home and didn't play in the game. So if you notice, Princeton's in the game, Ole Miss is in the game at the beginning and the end. So now you start thinking about, how hard are you going late in the game down 20 points, right? If you know you already got paid, right? Meaning, like, you've already did everything you could do. You gave the Senior Bowl your 20 plays. They asking you for 55, right? So Tyson comes in that game. That could have been a real bad situation, meaning you had to throw the ball every play. There was no more run game. Those beautiful outside, under center fakes with the tight end and them starting across the field 22. Those are easy balls to throw. The hard ball is when we're in the straight spread and everybody knows that we're throwing the ball. So you got your 2 deep guys, even 2 deep more. Now you're taking that linebacker. He's in the Tampa 2 before we even say hut. This is a tough gig for the curls and the digs. So now you're hoping these 5 guys can block these 4 dudes, even though they're not a cohesive unit, to say the least, at this point, with a center that ain't even the center in the season. So you take all that stuff and then you throw the ball 22 times, which is never done in the Senior Bowl because there's multiple quarterbacks. And then you complete 17 of them, boy. Pops is over there like.
17 out of 22.
It could have been a major exposure problem, right? Like, if you're watching that game and you're telling me that one of the other quarterbacks we could have, right at the end of the game, put any of the 5 of them besides Tyson in that situation and say 22 times, let's go. There is no running the ball, 2-minute drill. I mean, hey, listen, to me, it wasn't even close. Even close, but it was never going to be close. Tice could have thrown 9 interceptions, fumbled every time. I'm telling you, it's the Senior Bowl's problem. They jinxed him. Conspiracy theory. What is going on?
No, but to be honest with you, Travis, I was watching the game and I was thinking to myself that it was a perfect scenario for Tyson to come in a 2-minute situation, because he didn't have time to be nervous or to overthink things. It was just back to back to back. He's commanding the offense. He's making the calls. He's getting guys in place. There was a couple of receivers that lined up in the wrong spot at certain points in time, and he was getting them in the right spot. So I thought that for him coming in a 2-minute situation was a great opportunity for him in the third quarter and I thought that he did well. I thought it didn't give him an opportunity to, to take the time to be nervous or to overthink things and things like that. Be in the huddle, for X amount of time calling plays and just even thinking about it. It was just literally back to back to back, and I thought it got him in rhythm.
I love it. I mean, listen, the fact that it all worked out. I mean, not having a running game at all in the game of football.
Yeah.
I mean, listen, not at all. Just tell me that your first experience in the most high-pressured situation of your life, you take the biggest freaking component that would help you and get rid of it.
Yeah.
You are setting yourself up for disaster normally.
Yeah, for sure.
In my opinion. I mean, every young quarterback that I see, if there's any success, it stems from that running game. It's just the way it is. And I pray that Tyson never throws the ball 22 times in a row again.
Yeah.
Like that was his first experience of professional football. And he got his introduction was 22 in a row. There is no punting.
Yeah.
We are down. Good luck.
Yeah.
And I think it can only get better.
Yeah.
Only get better.
Yeah, he made a lot of tough throws as well. I mean, shoot, he even had a design run.
How about the movement in the pocket, man? If you go back and watch this man, he either got rid of that ball 2.2 seconds or he moved.
Yeah, he did.
And I'm telling you, man, he looked.
Did it scare you when he ran the ball?
He looked like me chasing down Damon Smith and juking Tracy Farmer back in that flag football league when I was in the best shape of my life. Casey and I had broke up in college. I shriveled down to about 207. I'm dunking the basketball. I look like, man, look like Steve Young out there, boy. Ask Damon about that.
Yeah, over at the Board of Education.
Like he took off down the sideline. I rode beside him. I said, I thought they said you was fast. Boom, pulled his flag. You would have thought that I broke in his house. That's how mad Damon Smith was that day. And that was, you asked him, boy, that was hot, boy.
Oh, man, that is great. Well, Travis, man, is always a pleasure. I appreciate you taking the interview. This was your first interview for Getting Back, so I'm going to break this as the first interview with Tyson Bagent since he got home from the Senior Bowl.
Send that right to ESPN, man. They've been waiting. They've been calling all day, and here I am, home team sports.
Yes, sir.
And you know what they're gonna say? You know what people gonna say? Oh, Travis, big time. You know how he gonna forget about you when he get. No, he ain't. No. Y'all just, hey, listen, get ready, guys. Woo, you better get ready for this voice.
Oh, man.
Oh,
Travis,
man.
before I let you go, what's next for Tyson?
Tyson has 3 weeks, and then on February 28th, he will head to Indianapolis, Indiana for the NFL Combine.
Nice. Awesome.
And then another big date, March 28th. Every team, every coach, every GM, if you want to meet Bill Belichick, you come to the Shepherd Pro Day. I will have Bill Belichick there for $10. You can shake his hand. Home Team Sports will have him at the booth.
Oh, yeah.
And we'll continue on with Andy Reid and every other coach in the country.
Yeah.
Jerry Jones will be in Shepherdstown.
Hey, that's going to be a big day in Shepherdstown.
He will be posted up at the Pavilion. It is $30 to talk to Jerry Jones.
Oh, man, that's going to be a big day in Shepherdstown for sure. I know. I did see Chauncey made it down to Mobile, and they got a big pro day coming. It's going to be a big day for not only Shepherd University, but for Shepherdstown as a whole. Eastern Panhandle.
Five members of it, either Chauncey, Coach McCook, Coach Klein, everybody was in there. Coach Hare was in the house. So we had them, dude. It was awesome.
Yep. Awesome, man. Well, I appreciate you taking the time. And as always, if you need anything, let me know.
You the man.
All right. Talk to you later, Travis.
Y'all be good.